So you have here your anti-derivatives and formulas of anti-differentiation on part 1, then integration by substitution na discuss na natin na last meeting. So this one, area of a plane region, if you remember ang integral sign, ang integral sign ninyo is actually annotation for S, elongated S. And it's because it is a representation for the sum of the area under a given curve. Diba integral, ana? Elongated S. That means to say it's actually the sum of the area under the given curve. So that's the interpretation of your integral. If you have a function y equals f of x, and you're asked to find the area under that curve, what you're going to do is to make some rectangles, and to approximate it, you make the rectangle as thin as possible para mas gamay lang ang mabilin diha na approximation na dili mao, no? Kaya kung kaning dagko, what will happen? Dako kayo kaning region diha nga wala nakuha. But if you make it as thin as possible, then mas ma-approximate niyo ang area under the given curve. So you construct n rectangles. The first rectangle, the base of the first rectangle is the interval x sub 0, x sub 1 on the x-axis, while its height is f at c sub 1. Ito, di ba? Kani, x sub 0 to x sub 1, ang height niya is kani, c sub 1. So rectangle, mag-add mga rectangle, pag regular shape kasi length times width lang, di ba? So kani man nga curve. So unsaon man na siya pag-approximate. That's why you make use of your summation of the area under the given curve denoted by your integral sign. I guess kabalo na mo ana kay nagyan na siya sa so kana paggamay pag thin as possible magamay naman ning kaning area, magamay na kanang dili accounted for. So mas ma-approximate ninyo ang area with that one. So meaning to say, kani mas gamay na di ba? Kita nyo, mas ma-approximate siya. That is, you let D be approach 0 to get a good approximation of the area AR there, meaning to say the area of the region. So you make your D kaniyang norm as small as possible there. So area of the region is the limit of the summation of f of c sub k delta, or this one. Masaya na ni. Integral from a to b of f of x dx. Find the area of the region bounded by x equal to y squared plus 2 and y equals 4 minus x. So, again, dapat kabalo mo, pagkakita sa equation, dapat ma-recognize nyo kung sa itsura niya curve. Diba, y squared plus 2, you know that it's a parabola. Pero naman siya sa y. So, positive po ang value diri. So, it's a parabola which opens to the right. Kung dili mo makarecognize pa anak, mag-isugit mo kay kinahanglan manggod ang area sa curve. So, kinahanglan kabalo mo sa itsura sa curve. So, this one, sa parabola which opens to the right. Hindi na ako masulatan. Yeah, anyway, di ba, pag naamoy x squared, area which opens upward siya, pag positive ang sa x. Nang diha, ax squared. Area of parabola opens downward, pag negative ang sa x squared. Kani, positive man ang sa y squared sa nag-open to the right. Pag negative ning value diri sa y diha, negative, mag-open to the left na parabola. So, I hope you can recall that one. So, it says here that y squared plus 2, it opens to the right. Okay? Then, kaning y equals 4 minus x is actually simply a line which has a slope equal to negative 1. Diba, y equals mx plus b. So, slope niya is negative. So, it slants downward to the right. Again, kato siya ng mga ideas, dapat innate na yan na alam ninyo pag nakita nyo pa lang ang mga equation. Pag dili pagani, please review back your algebra. Kinahanglan gid na ninyo i-review ang algebra kung dili mo makarecognize sa kaning mga curves gani. Kay naani sa supposed to be sa second part sa sketching sa math 1, no? Kung wala namang good math 1 ang college karon kay assume na agihan niya na sa inyong senior high. So, area of the horizontal strip, you have XR minus XL. And X sub R is kaning sa right, no? Sa right, and XL kaning nasa left. So we have XR from negative 2, okay? Yung sa pagkuha sa negative 2. Ang negative 2 was the intersection, 3, 1, intersection between y squared plus 2 and y equals 4 minus x. So ang value kay 6, negative 2, and 3, 1 ang points of intersection nila. Now, if it is with respect to y, okay, respect to y, dy mani, so the limit should be from, what is the value of y here? The value of y is negative 2, and the value of y here is equal to 1. So you have negative 2 to 1. Negative 2 to 1. And the value for the function would be x sub r minus x sub l. So kaning x sub r, which is equal to, you have y equals 4 minus x, right? So ang value niya is 4 minus y, because you can rewrite in terms of y, you have to rewrite this function in terms of y. Kay dy man ang gigamit. So you have there 4 minus y, and you have your y squared plus 2, because dito, if you take a look, you have this y squared plus 2. This is the rectangular strip kasi pag ganyan yung strip. So pag dy, rectangular strip, then you have to consider ang limits of integration be in terms of y, and ang function should also be in terms of y. Okay, so upper limit there, and then lower limit. Lower limit is y equals negative 2, and then ang upper limit is y equals 1. Then ang function ninyo will be in terms of y, so you have your x is equal to, x equals, balhin na itong x diha. So you will have 4 minus y, then kani, okay naman to, y squared plus 2. In terms of y naman siya. Again, human na ni po sa senior high ha, kaninga topic. Kung wala pa ninyo na, kung nakalimot mo na ana siya sa atong senior high nga libro nga gihatag nako sa inyo, remember, nasa first part sa inyohang mole na ako'y gihatag dito nga calculus book, basic calculus book for senior high. So kani nga topic na discuss dito senior high. Okay, so rectangular strip, then hindi nila ako kaayo. Review lang mani para pag dili pa mo nakakuha. Then, what happens here? Area of region 1 plus area of region 2. Because, if you take a look at this one, kani diri, naggibahin ang region because ang upper curve dili upper curve ang gamit ani. Kani ang curve ani diri is kani siya, whereas ang curve ani diri is ang lower, ang niya right niya kay kani. Diba? Kani, then kani isa. That's why gibahin siya kay lahi ang iyang value. So that one. That's why you have area region 1 plus area of region 2. Arc length. Okay, ito siguro is something new to you. I don't think na-discuss ni sa senior high. You have a function which is continuous on AB. Suppose that the derivative of that function is continuous also on AB. Then the length of the curve is given by the formula integral from A to B of the square root of, this is a formula, you have to memorize this. Dili na ang derivation niya is taas-taas po, so dili na po napahihata ang derivation. The length of the curve is equal to the square root of 1 plus f prime of x squared dx. If in case ang function kay defined in terms of y, then you will have, mawala gahapon, from C to D, but you will have a square root of 1 plus f prime of y squared dy. Meaning to say, kung ang function niyo, given mag-function, kuwaon ang derivative sa function, is square ang derivative, mag-add of 1, then kuhaon ang yang square root, then i-integrate na yun siya. Okay? So, muna yung meaning ani nga formula. When you're asked to find the length of arc of a plane curve, that is, as long as you're given the function and it is continuous, and you can take the derivative, suppose, no, so the derivative, f prime is continuous on AB, then you take the derivative, you square the derivative, you add 1, take the square root, and then take the integral. Okay. So again, anong formula? The length of arc of a plane curve is given by L equals the integral from A to B of the square root of 1 plus f prime. F prime mean kasi derivative squared dx. So, pwede po siya nga kaning f prime, pwede po siya if it's a function in terms of y, f prime y. Kasi siya dy dx. So, square lang gihapon. Example, we have, diretso na lang ko sa example. Find the length of arc of the semi-cubical parabola between the points y squared equals x cubed, between the points 1, 1, and 4, 8. So for the top half of the curve, we have y squared equals x cubed. Y is equal to x3, x raised to the 3 over 2. So when you take the derivative of this, dy dx, you will have, diba, exponent is 3 over 2. So 3 over 2, x to the 3 over 2 minus 1. That will give you x to the 1 half, kay minus 2 over 2 man. So ang length of the curve will now be 1 to 4. You have square root of 1 plus ang derivative squared dx. Square root of 1 plus 9 over 4x dx. When you try to square that, 9 ang squared sa 3 kay 9. Squared sa 2 kay 4. So you have 4 there. So 9 over 4. Then x to the 1 half man siya. So square niya kay x lang dx. And you can try to integrate already. So you have that one. Okay, volumes by slicing these washers and cylindrical shell. So ano sa methods of these? So there are 3 methods, but problems, applicable lang ang this method. Some problems, applicable both ang circular ring or washer method, cylindrical or shell method. So when you say this method, bali ang iyahang ang volume of the solid that you are able to revolve would be at least. Mean kasi wala siya bangag. So that's the time that you use this method. Ang circular ring or washer method, when you try to revolve, ang mabuo na solid has actually a hole, no? So you can use circular ring or washer pag na siya hole, or you can make use of your cylindrical shell method. Now, what are these methods? Nanata sa volume, na? Diba area? So this time we are now on volume.